Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the Master of Science in Real Estate webinar at Georgia State University's J. Mac Robinson College of Business, into a world of information that can be your key to future business success. My name is Allison Jacobs, and I am the Associate Director of Graduate Recruiting for the Robinson College of Business. Today, we would like to talk to you about why you should choose the real estate program at Robinson, why Atlanta is a great destination for real estate professionals, the details of the real estate program, and finally, the admissions process. Before I get started, I would like to introduce the team of people who will be presenting to you today. Dr. John Wiley is joining us as a faculty member from the Real Estate Department. Tiffany Ashby is joining us from the Career Management Center, and then Nicole Westfall and I will be discussing the admissions process with you. I would like to begin by telling you a bit about the Robinson College of Business. Our college, which celebrates its 100th anniversary this year, has a rich history and tradition. Of greater importance is our contemporary curriculum that is in keeping with the needs of today's highly competitive global business environment. We are proud to offer graduate and undergraduate programs that are among the finest in the nation. Our part-time MBA program is ranked among the best by Bloomberg Businessweek and U.S. News and World Report, and the Financial Times ranks our eMBA program among the world's premium programs. Specifically to you, our real estate programs are top 10 ranked nationally by the U.S. News and World Report. The success of the J. Mac Robinson College of Business is due to several factors. Our faculty members are among the best in the world. They are experts in their respective fields, consult with businesses worldwide, and are often quoted in the media. As the fifth largest business school in the U.S. with approximately 200 full-time faculty members, we are able to offer a wide variety of graduate and undergraduate courses. Our talented student body is truly one of the most diverse in the U.S., hailing from more than 88 countries. And of course, our location in the heart of Atlanta's vibrant downtown business district makes us minute away from many of the nation's top companies, including Coca-Cola, Turner Broadcasting, Georgia-Pacific, UPS, and SunTrust. So I'd like to spend a few moments talking to you just a little bit about why Atlanta is a great destination for you to study your graduate programs. For those of you who may not know, Atlanta is located on the east coast of the U.S., just north of Florida. It is the 9th largest city in the U.S. and by far one of the most affordable. We also boast the world's busiest airport, which makes for convenient airfare and cheaper flights. We have a great public transportation system, which includes the MARTA, which will take you right to your classes both in downtown and Buckhead, and even to the airport. Our location allows us to be within walking distance of some of the top Fortune 500 companies. As I mentioned before, the cost of living in Atlanta is quite affordable as you compare it to other cities of our size. If you choose to live off campus, apartment can run you anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a month, with a $400 to $700 a month in the suburbs. Electricity, water, and internet would be approximately $100 per month. Many of our graduate students choose to live on campus where they have an option of staying in a loft, which will run about $2,600 a semester, or in a private 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, which runs approximately $5,000 a semester. Our on-campus locations are in our downtown location. However, we have the MARTA system, which can take you to the Buckhead campus, which is where the real estate courses will be held. So I'd like to briefly talk to you a bit about our graduate recruiting and student services. Our admissions team, which consists of Nicole, Felton, Todd, and I, will help you through the admissions process and answer any questions you have about applying to the program or moving to Atlanta. Once you are admitted to the program, you will be turned over to our student services team, who will enroll you for your courses and advise you on any classes that you will be taking throughout your program. Most importantly, we have a very strong career management center, which will walk you through the process of finding a job in the real estate profession. And I would now like to turn things over to Tiffany Ashby to talk to you a little bit more about the services our Career Management Center offers.
Great. Thank you, Allison. Hello, my name is Tiffany Ashby, and I am a graduate career counselor with Roberts College of Business Career Management Center. As a student, our office is here to help you advance your career. We offer an array of services, events, and access to resources that extend beyond the classroom. When you become a graduate student at Robinson through the Career Management Center, or CMC as I'll refer to it, you will have access to an in-house graduate career coach who has practical industry experience. The career coach will help you with continuous career management planning and support. We feature one-on-one coaching sessions in person, by phone, or even by Skype. The CEC additionally offers events such as career fairs, educational workshops, career panels, and programs such as executive career coaching. Executive career coaching is our premier program where our students are matched with top-level executives for one 45-minute career coaching session. Who wouldn't want to be paired with a leading executive in their chosen field for expert coaching? Additionally, access to job postings and internships are available through our online career management portal, Robinson Career Connections, or RCC. RCC is not only a repository of our partner employers' jobs and internships, but it also is an online registration system for our workshops and events. RCC acts as a resource by connecting you to the various tools that aid you in your career search. Couple things. We're here to help you. Did you know we are located at all 4 GSU campuses, the downtown campus, the Buckhead, Peachy Dunwoody, and Alpharetta. For our real estate graduate students, most of your class will be located at the Buckhead Center. The CMC also hosts 2 career expos each year, once in the fall and once in the spring, for our partner employers to come and recruit our talented students. We host over 80 employers for each fair. Our partner employers use RCC to specifically recruit Robinson students directly. On average, there are about 30 new job postings each week in RCC. Your resume is sent directly to the hiring managers as you apply to the various jobs and opportunities. Lastly, Robinson alumni often use RCC as a recruitment tool for the organizations. This could be you. We encourage you to schedule an appointment with your designated career coach during your first month of your semester. Career management begins on day 1 of your graduate school journey. Finally, our services are extended to you as an alumni for a minimum of 1 year after graduation. Please check us out at our please check us out at our website at cmc.robinson.gsu.edu or like us on Facebook or connect with us on LinkedIn. We'll see you soon.
Oh, hi, it's John Wiley here. I'm a faculty in the real estate department. And what we've done when we created this program, we basically completely revised our master's curriculum. And we looked at programs at all national universities that have big Masters of Science and Real Estate programs. And we also looked at programs that were offered by leading industry organizations such as CCIM. And those organizations typically try to bridge the gap between what you learn in a textbook and what kind of skills you actually need in the real world. And we compared those, and we decided that we wanted to take our program into the modern era and update it and have it revolve around a central theme. And so a couple of our goals during this process was, one, we wanted to make this program highly applicable to those who are interested in entering the commercial real estate industry, which is in contrast to residential brokerage. I would argue that you don't really need a master's degree to be successful in residential brokerage. In commercial real estate, you absolutely need an education. And in addition to specializing in commercial real estate, we wanted to create this program in a way that made the graduates and the students successful to compete in a major metropolitan area like Atlanta. And so what we've come up with is a very efficient program that is designed to take you from where you are today, whether you have a bachelor's in real estate and all kinds of work experience that's relevant in the field, or I think that there are others out there that I think would be good candidates for the program who may not have as much experience in real estate, or may not have as strong of a academic background in real estate, but hopefully they have a strong desire to get into the industry. And so we're open to sort of admitting students who have a broad range of backgrounds and trying to negotiate those differences over the course of the first semester. Previously, our Master's of Science in Real Estate program was offered downtown. You would have to have, 5 years of work experience and already have a degree in real estate. And we had pretty high barriers to entry. And what we realized is that we're really missing a lot of the market. And so, we want to sort of open it up, make the program accessible and attainable for folks who want to enter the industry and take their career on a different course. Maybe you've started off down one path and you are looking at commercial real estate. You think that's interesting, and in 1 year you want to launch yourself from where you are to where you want to be. That's the essence of what we've created in this program. And so we don't want to make a lot of assumptions about what you already know, but we do want to very quickly get you up to speed. So we know that students come with a lot of variance. Some, it might be a really nice refresher in that first semester, but others, we hope that you're willing to put in the work. And if you're willing to put in the work, I think that that's definitely all you can ask for as a professor is something to work with. So in my opinion, in recent years and this year especially, Atlanta metro area currently has a human capital shortage in the commercial real estate industry. I know this because every week I get emails from employers saying, "Hey, John, where's a good student? Send us your top guy or gal. We need an intern. We have a great job here, an analyst job, an asset management job." And I take that job announcement, I walk into my class and I show it to my students and they say, meh. They don't care. They already have a good job. Early in the year, that was useful and they grabbed up those openings. But by the end of the year, there's a mismatch between how many students we have graduating from our programs and the demand from the job market. And so I think that, opening this up and getting more people educated in commercial real estate is something that we're trying to attempt to kind of, resolve some of that imbalance of supply and demand, right? So think about this for a second, and this is why it exists. If you want to get a Master's of Science in Real Estate in Atlanta, what are your options? I'm not talking about an MBA with specializing in real estate. That's different. With MBA, you take a lot of other stuff that's very useful. You take some accounting and management, marketing, things like that, but you only take a couple of real estate courses. I'm saying to get a complete master's level education and everything is relevant to commercial real estate. What are your options? Currently, you can go to GSU's previous version of our MSRE program. We've actually closed enrollments for that because we're launching this new program. If you were going to do that, this is, say you decided you want to do this 2 years ago, you would have to take the classes downtown. We offer maybe one at 4:30 and the next one starts at 7:15 at night. Most commercial real estate jobs are in Buckhead. I know this because I serve on the board at REAC, Real Estate Investment Advisory Council, and it's an organization that's made up of owners of real estate. And obviously, wherever the owners are, that's where the service providers are, and they'll follow. We hold events, and we always hold them in Buckhead. If we move the event from Buckhead to Midtown, attendance drops by 50%. If we move it from Buckhead to Central Perimeter, attendance drops by 30%. So all the jobs, the center of the commercial real estate industry is in Buckhead. And all of our students who were working professionals, we said you have to have 5 years of work experience and then come take your classes downtown Atlanta. So what you had to do is commute from Buckhead to downtown Atlanta at 4:30 at night. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but it's pretty awful. So we want to move close, being real estate folks, we want to move closer to the center of demand. Where are the people at? If you're going to build a shopping center, you put it in the middle of the rooftops. If you're going to educate real estate professionals, you try to bring the education program as close to where all those professionals are as you can. And so that's sort of the, some of the thinking behind moving the program to Buckhead. The good news of those in the past that went through the program like that is that we ended up with some really strong selection bias. We had some students that were willing to take that treacherous commute from Buckhead to downtown and finish their classes at 9:45 and then go home to wherever they lived. And those are students that were just truly, truly motivated to get a degree. They have gone out ahead of you and they have blazed a trail carrying a big blue GSU flag, and they have lit the world on fire. All the skyscrapers that all these skyscrapers that you see in Atlanta, all the big shopping centers, the large industrial sites, all big apartment complexes, you know, probably almost all of them have been touched by a GSU alum, whether as an owner, the person who bought it or sold it or facilitated that transaction, the architect, the construction manager, the developer. And I think some people in the Atlanta industry call it the GSU real estate mafia. I don't know if it's a fair name, but basically the reality is GSU real estate alums have a dominant presence in the Atlanta real estate industry. And it's a group of folks who tend to help stick together and help each other up. You mentioned that you're a GSU alum and someone else already is. They're much more like, you have this immediate connection, and it's not a small group of people that you're entering. The real estate department at Georgia State is one of the oldest in the country. And as a result, our real estate alumni group in Atlanta has an email list of over 2,000 people on it. But there's more that aren't even involved in the organization. I could list off names and all this, but you get the picture. That reputation is already there, and now you have the opportunity to access it through the new structure of the program. And so our goal is to take this program that contributed to the success of those individuals, bring it into the modern era, make it better, and very importantly, make it accessible. And so move it to Buckhead, put it in a one-year format. You start this January, you will graduate in December, take 10 courses. It's Mondays and Wednesdays, 5:30 to 9:45 p.m. So if you finish work at 5 o'clock, you can, and you're in Buckhead, you can probably make it to this class. If you had to make it downtown by 4:30, you'd probably have to ask your employer off, from work at 3:30 or something like this. So the facilities in Buckhead, I don't know if you've ever been there. Tower Place 200. It's a Class A office building. It's in the heart, so it's not just we happen to be in Buckhead. We're in the center of Buckhead, and those are world-class educational facilities. If you haven't been there, I would strongly encourage you to go and check it out. So the design of this program, the curriculum that goes into it, I'll talk about in a second, and the location, none of it is accidental. By putting ourselves in Buckhead, we want to make, you heard probably at the beginning of this webinar, some of our alums talking about how GSU, what it did was it plugged them in with real world cases and industry, industry interaction. And if we can get you to where people are actually working in this industry, then we can greatly increase the number of interactions that you'll have with the leaders of Atlanta industry, which is going to establish those connections, build your network, and make it so that you can, it's who you know, right? That's a big part of it. And it's also making this so it's not just textbook material and memorization, but so that it's all, you can always see the application of what we're doing and how it's going to have an impact and how it's going to help you. Another aspect to this program, previously, if you went to the GSU MSRE program, you'd go downtown. It was in a flex format. So that means that students would take it one semester. You'd have, a couple dozen students in the class. And the next semester, you wouldn't even recognize somebody from the semester before. Maybe those were all about to graduate. But we see that there's a value in this cohort structure where you can move through the program, take all the classes with your same group of colleagues. You can build a connection with your peers and work on projects together. The facilities in Buckhead, they have, they make it just ideal if you're a student. You park, the elevator takes you straight into the building. I think included in the program are your meals, snacks, refreshments, and you have like an access card that gets you into the building. And that access card, you can reserve these breakout rooms where you can go and work on projects with your colleagues. And all of these things really just increase the interaction. And I've seen it even from the students that graduated from the old downtown model and the flex format. They stick together, and the ones that just graduated and they have a job at this company and you want to try to find a way in the door at this company or that company, the folks in career management services do a tremendous job, and just as strongly in your corner is going to be all of your colleagues and all of your alums going to bat for you and saying, this is a rising tide that lifts all boats, and we're going to help you, we're going to get you there. So you have this opportunity to build a reputation during, we're saying, just 1 year, right? So let's here's a list of the courses. I think it'll make more sense if I can dig into it one at a time. So here's kind of the core required courses for the MSRE. And what we're thinking about this, what we realized when we redesigned the curriculum was that we needed to have a central idea. Real estate means a lot of things to a lot of people. Somebody who's an architect says that they're in real estate. Somebody who's a residential broker says they're in real estate. And we're not trying to design a program that makes you the jack of all trades and the expert of none. We want you to be an expert in something, and we need to pick something that gave it a central theme. And what we picked is that we want you to learn to think like an owner or a principal, right? If we can teach you how to make value maximizing decisions as an owner would, then we can teach you, then likely you will become one, or you'll become very valuable to someone who already is. And so, these, starting from sort of the top left, there's the two sides of the balance sheet. In order to own real estate, you need to have access to capital. You can get money from a bank and have a leveraged investment. So there's the debt analysis, or you can raise money from investors, and you need to communicate what kind of returns they should be expecting given their risk profile, and that's the equity side of the balance sheet. If you don't have access to capital, then you won't be owning any real estate. And that both sides of the balance sheet. Beyond the capital market flows, then there's, real estate has an actual product market, and market analysis focuses on the user market. So every asset that we're owning in commercial real estate has it exists for a reason. It serves some need to the world around it. It's office needs to meet the needs of the employers. Retail needs to meet the needs of shoppers. Industrial has to play some role in the supply chain and distribution. Apartments have to have renters, or none of them would exist, right? So we're looking at real estate's basically local business, and we're looking at the local supply and local demand for all of these products. And because it's local politics play in and all these things, you can always identify local opportunities through this, and that's what the market analysis course is focused on teaching you. Advanced investment analysis drills a layer deeper onto the ownership side of the cash flows that come back to the owner. And in that course, you'll go through an Argus DCF university program, DCF discounted cash flow. And by the end of that course, and this is included in the cost of the program, by the end of that course, you'll be qualified to take the Argus DCF certification exam. And that is a valuable thing. The job market, if you have Argus DCF certified on your resume, the job market screens based on that. Your resume goes in one stack if you have Argus DCF certified. It goes in the other stack if you don't. If you want to verify this, go look at some job market websites. Look at NAIOP, NAIOP.org. They have a career center link, and it takes you to the same link that ULI, Urban Land Institute, would at their career center, and to select leaders. And all the jobs that are for someone who owns real estate, you can be an analyst, an asset manager, a portfolio manager. Almost every single one is going to say required, Argus DCF certified. So in addition to giving you the information that you need, you also need the credentials, right? Also important, real estate development. I'll likely teach that course, walk you through the process of, you come up with an idea, you get permitting and entitlement, financing, you purchase the land, you begin construction, and you have a completed asset, and you lease it up. And also in doing so, we'll go through all the different property types. So land development, which includes getting it to kind of a finished lot that you can sell to home builders, apartments, industrial, office, retail. And so, you know, to understand what it takes to get an asset from an idea until it's, you know, completed physical structure is kind of the, you know, a comprehensive, provides a comprehensive view of what real estate is, because you have to bring together everything: design, users, capital markets, and everything. Corporate asset management. In this case, we flip the coin and look at it from the perspective of the user. If you are a tenant, you know, or you're a corporation and you want to use real estate, you have some decisions to make. Should I own or buy? Should I buy versus lease? Where should I have site selection? You know, McDonald's considers themselves a real estate company, for example. So this course is kind of based off of the, you know, again, comparing to the CCIM model. They have a course called User Decision Analysis, very similar here. We want to think like the corporations. If we're going to be the owners, we need this to be valuable to someone else, and so we need to you know, take that perspective. And it's valuable. You know, probably some MBA students might want to take this as an elective as well. It's valuable information any business needs to know. Generally speaking, businesses are pretty wasteful with their corporate real estate decisions, and so it's good information. Case studies. You know, these type of courses answer the question of sort of why are we here, all in the same room at the same time. You know, I can give you books to read all day long, but you know, when you're live and in person, the professor walks in the classroom and says, you know, who is Jane Smith? And then just leaves this awkward silence, you know, until people start to step forward, just to observe your classmates start to, you know, speak up and think and how they approach that. All the content for that course comes from the students in the classroom. And, you know, it's a belief of mine that there's a tremendous amount of wealth of information in the room because of the diversity of student backgrounds. And if we just sit there and lecture at students, then we don't get any of that out. And so in a case study course, we give you, you know, expose you to something, give you the opportunity to react to it, and then you come back. So some things are very difficult to teach, like leadership skills. I can sit here and tell you how to be a leader all day long, but until you actually are put in that situation and you need to step forward and say, here's what we ought to do, it's a very difficult skill to teach outside of that type of a teaching method. Then we'll call them electives, but for 2015, you know, it's structured cohort model. These are the three that we're adding to the core. Negotiations, again, that's from CCIM, but arguably, you know, this is a more important skill than, you know, some of the things that we carved out when trying to teach you, or when trying to say, here's what an owner needs to know. We said, you know, we used to have courses like real estate appraisal, real estate law, real estate brokerage. And we said, you know, if you're an owner, you don't care. I mean, I don't want to sit here and read all the real estate laws. I'll just hire a real estate attorney. If I want to know, get a value estimate to get a loan, I'll hire an appraiser. So anything that I can outsource and is not, you know, true value add, let's carve it out of the program and get to what is the owner going to add value. So instead of something like real estate law, instead let's learn negotiations. And surprisingly, not very many MSRE programs nationally have this course in their program. Research and project course is a course where you're, in the past, what we've done is select a site in Atlanta that's currently being considered for redevelopment, and students come up with their own concept and idea and propose it to a panel of industry judges. And, you know, so this year they did the redevelopment of Turner Field. The year before, they did the GM site in Doraville, massive site. I was just blown away by the concepts that students came up with and the amount of work that they put into that. People from industry show up and watch these presentations, and they're just, you know, our stock value just rises as GSU real estate alums. And they just say, man, you guys are producing some really impressive, you know, leaders of tomorrow, right? Finally, financial leadership. This is an idea that we borrowed that's been very successful in the finance master's program. In their program, they try to introduce students to as many C-suite finance executives at billion-dollar and up corporations as they can. Well, in real estate, the firms are a lot smaller, but a small firm could control, well over $1 billion in real estate, but maybe have like 5 or 6 employees. But we intend to use that course. Yes, there's a curriculum based on sort of managerial economics, but we want to use that as a platform to bring in some of our industry speakers. We have this honorary board that has over 50 folks on it, and they're the leaders of Atlanta. They help us if our students need them. They're a resource to them, and they'll come in and they'll talk about a case that they're actually working on, a scenario that they've faced in the past, or basically, what did you learn in your career after you left GSU that no textbook ever taught you, but it was the most important thing that you learned, right? So this sort of real world, practical considerations. And as you can see, all of these, we're building and building interactions between the students and the industry. So here's a look at it all together. In the spring you take 4. Again, you're only going Monday and Wednesday every week, no other days. Same in the summer and fall. I think there's a couple weeks off for holidays and a little break in the middle. I mentioned the Argus DCF certification. In addition, CCIM is kind of like the gold, one of the gold standards of a industry accreditation that you can receive in the commercial brokerage industry. And those courses, you have to go and you pay quite a bit of money. You typically have to travel to go take the courses. I think half that program is done by the time you finish this, and they count the credits from this MSRE program towards you getting a CCIM. You also have to put together a portfolio of work that you've done. And if you're interested in going the brokerage route, you have passed the pre-licensed education requirement, and you are qualified to take the salesperson's exam. For example, if you want to go into commercial brokerage. So also, again, in addition to being very thoughtful about the curriculum, something that we want to have running through the program is interaction with industry. We're in the process of kind of redesigning the way our real estate honorary board works so that we can have better interaction with the students that come through this 1-year MSRE program. Instead of meeting whenever it was convenient for everyone else, let's meet at the beginning of the semester. Let's have those honorary board members come in and say, what's the most important thing that the students need to know about what's going on now in industry in Atlanta? So when we meet in August, you can hear about those things during the fall semester. And then we meet in January, you can hear about those things during the spring semester. The Real Estate Alumni Group has a number of events throughout the year. One of the most popular is the Views from the Top event. We'll typically, try to offer you some, encouragement to go to these events, but, really the benefit is all yours. If you go to these and you interact with these people, it is a small world in commercial real estate, and, your reputation can be built very quickly. And that's the intent. Our goal is to give you the opportunity to build a reputation in a year that can carry you for the rest of your career. Let's see. And yeah, there's a long list. I mean, I could throw names out and all of this, but it wouldn't be a service because there's too many. But you can see where a lot of our students have placed. They do very well. Many of our students go on and become owners of commercial real estate. And so we think it's appropriate to, offer a program that makes you ready for that. So anyway, thank you for letting me talk to you about the program, and we hope to see you.
So hopefully by now you are thinking, how do I apply to the real estate program? So let me tell you a little bit about our application process. There are a couple of components. First, you will need to submit an online application. You can find the application on our website under Apply Now. Next, you will need to submit your GMAT or GRE scores and transcripts from all of your previous undergraduate or graduate work. On the online application, you will include all previous work experience as well as your resume. Finally, you will need to submit any letters of recommendation. We accept up to 3, and for the real estate program, we need at least 1. Once you've submitted everything, your file will be reviewed by the admissions committee. The committee will take into consideration all the different aspects of your application while making that decision. Once we've received everything, a decision is usually issued within 1 to 2 weeks. So now let's talk a little bit about our averages. For our GMAT, we typically look for about a 600. And with our GRE, about a 310, usually above a 150 on each section. Our GPA is typically, our average is about a 3.43. And as mentioned earlier, the work experience is not required, but always encouraged. It can only help your application. Next, if you're an international applicant, you have a few additional steps. First, we require that the international students take either the TOEFL or the IELTS exams. Our average score on the TOEFL is about a 100 and the IELTS a 7.0. There are a few exceptions for the requirement to take one of these English proficiency exams. First, if you are a U.S. naturalized citizen or have conferred a degree in the U.S., you'll be exempt from having to take these exams. Next, in some cases, if you had attended an institution outside the U.S., you may be required to have your academic credentials evaluated. In most cases, we do not require academic credentials to be evaluated, so we encourage our applicants to send in their transcripts to us first, and from there we will notify you if needed. Listed, you can see some of the credential evaluators. Lastly, once you've been accepted to the program, you will be put in contact with International Student Services, where you will be asked to provide financial documents in order to process your I-20 in order to get your visa. If you have any questions about this, please visit issss.gsu.edu. Now just to talk a little bit about the tuition and deadlines. The tuition for the program is $37,500. This is an all-inclusive fee that includes class materials, textbooks, iPad, parking. As John mentioned, everything is included up at this Buckhead Center, which is really a great benefit to being a part of this real estate program. There are a couple additional fees. Your application fee is $50, and then your program deposit, which is also kind of known as your confirmation fee, is about $250. Something to keep in mind, so the program will be starting in spring of 2015, and the deadline for international students is August 1st, and for domestic students, September 15th. Now, a couple of ways to finance your degree. One opportunity would be working with your current employer to see if they will finance the degree. Also, we have multiple scholarships. However, these are extremely competitive, so we encourage you to go online and take a look at those as soon as possible. Next, we have a couple graduate research assistant positions. This is the #1 way that students find to fund their program. We offer partial tuition waiver for the MS-RE program, and that includes a monthly stipend. You can look for these positions after you've been accepted into the program. You also are eligible to apply for educational loans both through the government and privately. That concludes our webinar today, and we'd like to open it up to questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat box. And afterwards, if you think of anything, please feel free to reach out to our admissions teams. Here's our contact information, and we really thank you for joining us today.